Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going somewhere special. We're heading straight into, what you could call the culinary soul of America.
New Orleans.
Exactly, New Orleans, a city where every single meal is, it's an event, it's a party.
And a history lesson all at once.
Yeah.
It's just massive, bold, and so vibrant.
And it's not just us saying that, the world agrees.
Absolutely. We saw sources, Time Out voted New Orleans the best food city on the planet.
It's the best in the world.
And TripAdvisor, just this year, named it the best in the U.S. It's because it's this ultimate melting pot of French, Southern, African, Creole, Cajun. Yeah. The list just goes on.
It really is. So our mission today is to create a kind of roadmap for you. We've pulled together traveler insights, local secrets, all the history to guide you through the absolute must-try dishes and drinks.
And we're going to get into the surprising stories behind them. We want you to be able to walk into any restaurant in the French Quarter and, order like you've lived there your whole life.
Okay, let's dive in. And you have to start with the ultimate sticky, sugary staple.
The beignet.
The beignet. You haven't really arrived in LA until you're covered head to toe in powdered sugar.
It's true. And they're so simple, really. It's a French origin, fried dough, kind of like a donut served warm.
But then topped with just mountains of powdered sugar.
A magnificent amount.
Yeah.
The experience is half the fun.
It is. I loved the traveler tips we found. Specifically the warning.
Oh, I know this one.
If you try to eat these neatly, you will fail. The sugar it goes everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
And the advice was just, lean into it. Wear white.
Just accept your fate. It's the official uniform of the beignet eater.
So the key location is, of course,
Café du Monde. Established in 1862. It has to be.
And the amazing part is, it's open 2004/7. You can get that experience at 3 in the morning if you want.
It's a perpetual institution.
And what do you pair it with? What's the drink?
You have to get the coffee. And it's distinctively New Orleans because it's served with chicory. It gives it this unique, kind of earthy, nutty flavor that just cuts right through all that sweetness. It's the perfect balance.
Now, the line at Du Monde can be intimidating. What about local alternatives?
Well, a lot of locals swear by morning call. Or, right in the Quarter, there's Café Beignet, which is great because they often have live jazz.
Okay, moving from sweet to spicy, let's talk crawfish. This is where food stops being just a meal and becomes a social phenomenon.
Absolutely. Crawfish is the beating heart of communal dining there. We read about a trip to Bayou Pigeon, this super isolated swampland area, just to see how they catch these little mud bugs.
And the preparation is key, the boil.
Yeah, they're boiled with intense spices, potatoes, corn, other vegetables. It's supposed to have this fiery chili kick.
Mm-hmm.
But the real story is the crawfish boil itself, the shared experience. We found a great example at a place called Our Bar.
Right.
Every Friday during the season, the chef brings out these huge free trays of seasoned crawfish for everyone.
Huh?
Yeah, and it creates this incredible feeling of community. It's not just about the food at that point.
And you see it in other forms too, right?
Oh, yeah. In etouffee, bisque, even crawfish pie.
Okay, that leads us to another staple, one that's tied to a very specific day of the week, red beans and rice.
The Monday special.
Why Monday? What's the actual history there?
So the tradition goes back to wash day. Monday was historically the day for doing laundry, which was, a huge all-day job.
So you needed something easy, a low-effort, high-flavor meal.
Exactly. You could throw the red beans on the stove with the leftover ham bone from Sunday dinner and just let it simmer all day. Cheap, easy, and delicious.
A Deep South classic. If you want to try it, our sources point to places like Mandina's or Joey K's.
When you trace the Noailles cuisine, so much of it is built on working-class history, and you see that especially in their sandwiches.
Let's start with the classic, the po' boy, or the poor boy.
Mm.
And the foundation is everything. It's that New Orleans French baguette. It's different, it's lighter, much crustier.
Yeah. The bread really makes it, and the filling is always generous. We're talking piles of fried shrimp or oysters or roast beef with gravy.
But if you're going to order one, you have to know the lingo. There's one crucial word.
Dressed.
Dressed. So what exactly does that mean?
It means you want the works. Mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and pickle. It's the non-negotiable set of condiments.
So without it, it's just a sandwich.
Pretty much. One local we read said, without being dressed, it's just a sub. Dressed makes it a NOLA classic.
And the origin story here is amazing. It comes from a labor dispute.
Yeah.
The 1929 streetcar conductor strike.
That's right. These two brothers, Benny and Clovis Martin, They used to be streetcar operators themselves. They owned a coffee stand and promised to feed the striking workers for free.
It's when they'd see one of them coming.
They'd literally call out, "Here comes another poor boy," and the name just, it stuck.
A piece of solidarity turned into a culinary legend.
For a classic version, there's Johnny's Po' Boys, the oldest family-run shop in the French Quarter. Or, for something different, Parkway Bakery does a Thanksgiving po' boy.
Next up, the muffuletta. This thing is, it's a monument, an absolute monster of a sandwich.
It is. It's this huge, round Italian bread, crispy on the outside, soft in the middle, and it's just layered.
With what? What are the traditional layers?
You've got mortadella, salami, ham, mozzarella, provolone. But as important as all that is, the real key, the flavor component, is something else entirely.
The olive salad.
Italian olive salad on top. It's briny and herby, and it soaks into all the layers. It was invented at Central Grocery in Delhi, so that's the iconic spot.
And we have a very important tip about serving size.
Yes, this is critical. Do not order a half unless you are sharing with, like, 3 other people.
It's that big.
It's huge. A quarter is a full meal.
Seriously, order wisely.
Okay, before we get into the big stews like gumbo, we need to talk about the foundation of all Creole and Cajun cooking. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't understand the food without understanding the Holy Trinity.
Right. So what is it?
It's the aromatic base. Onion, celery, and bell pepper. Not carrots like in French cooking. The bell pepper is key here.
And we found a great little insider note on that, didn't we?
Yeah, one chef admitted that for their own cooking, they sometimes swap out the bell pepper for a jalapeno.
To give it more heat.
A little more heat and complexity, yeah. But that trinity is always the first thing in the pot.
Which brings us to gumbo, the ultimate melting pot stew. It's complex. It's a roux-based dish.
Gumbo is literally history in a bowl. And the name itself tells the story. It's believed to come from an African word, ungumbo, which means okra.
Okra.
Yeah, okra was brought over by enslaved people in the 1700s, and it was the original thickener for the stew, long before the French roux became standard.
Amazing. Now, for anyone visiting, there's a big debate to understand. Creole versus Cajun gumbo.
The main difference, really, is the tomato. Creole gumbo, from the city, uses tomatoes. Cajun gumbo, from the bayous, does not. It focuses on a darker roux and more spice.
And there's a rule about the proteins, right?
A very strict rule. You either have seafood gumbo shrimp, crab, or you have meat gumbo chicken and sausage. You do not mix them, at least not if you're a purist.
And next up, jambalaya.
The hearty rice dish. It's kind of like a paella, which shows you the Spanish influence. It's a one-pot meal. Chicken, sausage, the Holy Trinity, rice, all cooked together.
And same deal as gumbo. Creole versus Cajun styles.
Exactly. Creole has a tomato base. Cajun doesn't, so it's often called brown jambalaya, and it's usually spicier.
And really quick, just for clarity, let's separate étouffée and shrimp Creole. They get confused.
Right. Étouffée means smothered. It has a thick, buttery roux-based sauce, usually with crawfish. Shrimp Creole is completely different. It's tomato-based, no roux, so it's tannier, brighter.
So we've covered the classics, but here is a piece of advice we have to share. Don't just stick to the traditional stuff. There's this incredible Vietnamese food scene.
This is a major insight. The Vietnamese population has been growing there since the 70s, and the cuisine is so integrated now that locals sometimes call a banh mi sandwich a Vietnamese po' boy.
The fusion is real.
It is. Our sources highly recommended a place called Nine Roses Cafe. It's calm, full of locals, and just a great way to see how NOLA's food story is still evolving.
New Orleans' history isn't just in its food. It is absolutely defined by its bars. I mean, this city birthed some of the most iconic cocktails in America.
And we should start with the official one, the Sazerac. It's often called America's oldest cocktail.
This isn't a sweet, easy drink. This is, it's a ritual.
It is. It's a real sipper. It's made with rye whiskey, a sugar cube, bitters, and an absinthe rinse in the glass. The preparation is meticulous.
And you have to have it at the Sazerac Bar in the Roosevelt Hotel, or the Carousel Bar.
The Carousel Bar. It deserves its own moment.
Oh, it really does. It's in the Hotel Monteleone, and the bar itself, it actually rotates.
It's like a slow, elegant carousel. You just sit there, and the room slowly revolves around you. It's an experience.
Okay, so on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have the Hurricane.
If the Sazerac is a refined sip, the Hurricane is a tropical Mack truck.
That's literally how one traveler described it. They said it hits you like a Mack truck.
And they're not wrong. It was created at Pat O'Brien's during World War II, basically to get rid of a lot of cheap rum.
So they just masked it with a ton of fruit juice and syrup.
Exactly. And it worked. A little too well. Pat O'Brien's is still the place to go for one, and they have that famous piano bar.
We should also mention the Pim's Cup, which was popularized by Napoleon House. Just a perfect, refreshing gin cocktail for a hot day.
And for real cocktail history buffs, there's the Ramos Gin Fizz, famed for its creamy, cloud-like texture from being shaken with heavy cream and egg white.
Finally, let's end where we began, on a sweet note, with the desserts. First, the showstopper, bananas Foster.
This is not just a dessert. It is performance art. It's made tableside with fire.
Right.
They cook down bananas with butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and then rum and banana liqueur, which they set on fire.
That theatrical element is key.
It is. And it was born at Brennan's in 1951, so that's the place you have to try it.
For something simpler, you have pralines. And it's pralines, not pralines.
A very important distinction. They're these simple, sugary candies with pecans and cream. You find them everywhere. Perfect little gift.
And the final classic, bread pudding. You find it at historic places like Commander's Palace. But there's a little controversy here, isn't there?
Yeah, we read one local who admitted they hate the texture of the soggy bread.
Oh, wow.
But, and this is the key part, they still insisted it's a must-try for any visitor because it's so fundamental to Deep South dining.
That's fascinating. So even if you don't love it, you have to respect its place in history.
Exactly. And that really synthesizes what Nola's food scene is. It's a living history book. Every dish tells a story. The po' boy feeding strikers, gumbo carrying the legacy of Africa. It's all there.
So that brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. The Big Easy has these fierce culinary rules, right? Don't mix seafood and meat in gumbo. Red beans are for Monday. Given that kind of rigidity, how do the modern influences, like the Vietnamese cuisine we mentioned, or these super experimental new cocktail bars, how do they manage to innovate while still honoring that intensely local historical foundation?
It's a great question. And to explore it more, we'd suggest looking into cookbooks from the region, like Mosquito Supper Club. They really get into how modern chefs are balancing that evolution with tradition.